Hello, y'all. It's 3:21 p.m. where I'm at, and I'm turning my MP3 player down some so that I can not not talk too loud. But I apologize for any music or anything around. Me being street homeless, I can't have really any place to be. No place of solitude or peace and quiet or anything like that. And it's like I'm glad to be able to get to have some encouragement to fight, to stay stronger and not give up. And I just can't believe, it's a shock to me. I can't believe how people are, how wicked and evil everyone is. And it's like truth is considered crazy talk. And then they have these people who are, self-righteous and narcissistic. And then they'll make it like as if you talk about the Bible or if you talk about Jesus, then that's inappropriate behavior, inappropriate and acceptable behavior to try to talk about the Bible. Excuse me. So it's like people don't want you to talk about God or the Bible, or they mock you. How can talking about the Bible or talking about Jesus, the love of Jesus Christ and the forgiveness of Jesus Christ, how is it possible that talking about that stuff is considered inappropriate behavior? But then they can't be told about their sins, but they're quick to nitpick and tell you everything you do or say is wrong and inappropriate or bad behavior or disorderly conduct and stuff like that. Everybody wants to endorse the idea that everybody has a right to be evil and do evil. But then those same people blame God for misfortunes in their lives. In their lives. So I tried to bounce back up today. I don't care. I'm at least trying. I tried to bounce back up today and try to see about more possible job opportunities. You're a human being. You are not Lord over me. You are not God over me. You do not have authority over me. You do not have rulership over me. You do not have control over me. So, I had to be reminded that people say, that this is a spiritual warfare that we're going through and that we're just pilgrims passing through. And it's like the purpose. I hate when it seems like they're winning or when it seems like as if the devil is winning, that they succeed at getting you taken down and destroyed. And they think that their power is so high. See, they're talking loud on purpose. So excuse me. I got my earbuds in my ears. These went out. These just went out. So I'm glad I have another pair with me. They're doing this on purpose. So, um, it's now 3:26 p.m. and I don't have much of any place else to go here because it's like everybody wants to defend and justify people's so-called right to be evil, you know. But then if you do something that they perceive as evil, then they call you out on it and get the whole entire world to come crushing you like an aluminum can. Excuse me. So I'm still battling the effects of the sleep deprivation. I drunk some of this, hoping that I can get more sleep. I mean, and so I have a right to have I have a right to have a job. I have a right to work. I have a right to make an income and make a living. One earlier, the Joe Patty seafood, they refused to hire me just because I'm homeless. And they want you to have a roof over your head and a car in order, they feel like if you have your own place and a car, that's the only way you can be successful at their job. So I try to look for a few other things, not much of anything. And humans do not have that right to try to eliminate another human being off of the face of this earth, or think they have the authority to dictate who deserves to live and who should die. And then, I tried to, see about a room for rent on Craigslist. There was a person who tried to attempt to scam me, and I blocked their number. So, you know, me being targeted, my acknowledgement and me knowing about being targeted, it helps me be stronger and wiser and more vigilant about everything that's around me, even though I still slip and can be a little naive sometimes. But they don't want you to be vigilant. They're counting on you to be naive and then and vulnerable, gullible, and naive, and then turn around and condemn you for it. They want you medicated. I'm gonna say it again. They want you medicated. They want you on psychiatric medication so that they can do their witchcraft, so that they can control you even more. That's why they fighting for you to be so medicated, so that you won't. To take away your knowledge of right and wrong, and to cloud you spiritually. This gang stalking is um both technological and spiritual, but spiritual first, then technological. So, I'm still working on trying to better myself. And it's very hard to ignore everybody trying to take me down and succeeding at destroying me and making me feel like the bad girl. You know, well, I'm not a guy, but bad girl, bad guy, bad girl. So it's more difficult when you're on the streets, to try to get some time alone. And when you're being bounced around from place to place, nomadic, it's very hard to get some quiet time by yourself and for yourself. See how they talking about? Um, by yourself and for yourself, trying to get some time to, to communicate with God and stuff like that in prayer. And and like prayer and fasting and stuff like that. And it's like it's mine. I'm striving to try to do the right thing and better myself. And a lot of us have situations as targets. We have situations so bizarre that, you know, even other targets don't take you seriously or don't believe your story about what you're going through. That's how bizarre everything is made to be. That everything is so divisive and confusing. Um, it's really scary in this world, you know. And there are some people saying that God has something better in store for me. It must have not been that. I mean, I kind of feel like I wish I never applied for that job in that job. Um, but I just tried to get anything I could. I being desperate, you know, trying to. Ow, it's shocking my teeth. I mean, me trying to be desperate, you know, to fight to get off the streets. You know, despite the smear campaigns that I'm in, lies that I have to go through. You know, and it's like even others, you know, real targeted people got mad and screamed at me and told me that um, I should have never told the people on YouTube that I have a job. But I didn't say where I worked at that time. I didn't say where I worked at, you know, what a specific name of the company where I worked at. I did not say that, you know. So, and then the perps and fake TI perps are trying to say that I did this to myself, or you did that to yourself, you brought it on yourself and stuff. And it's like I'm getting constant harassment and abuse in the comments condemning me for you know, talking about my own workplace harassment and stuff like that. So I'm praying myself for my own business opportunity. And it's like I'm made to feel bad, like I did, like I should be ashamed that it's like I can't even say anything positive or good because it was the malicious perps who try to make like they didn't believe where I worked at. I mean, they didn't believe that I had a job. And then the same people making false rumors about me scamming people and being a fraud on YouTube and stuff like that, and smear campaigning me and lying. Those are the same people who would quickly got my job shut down. And I have a right to speak out. I do have a right to speak out on what's happening to me, what they're doing to me. So it's like I'm getting quote unquote chastised and condemned. They say you shouldn't even told the perps that you had it. I mean, you should have told people on YouTube you had a job. Or why did you tell them you had it? Why did you say you had a job? You shouldn't even said nothing. It's like kicking me down harder, and like I mean, kicking me down harder when I'm already down, rather than being supportive and help uplift me despite, you know, the certain kind of way that I was feeling. It's like you really can't get any support or help from anybody. The fact that they're judgmental and they'll kick you down even harder at your worst and at your lowest moments, and then they distance themselves from you, and then make it like you're just nothing but trouble. It's a cold, lonely world. Everybody acts like they want to take God's place, and it's like the wicked narcissistic abusers. They put on a, they feel like they have to put on a front to be holier than thou and self-righteous to cover up their own satanic rituals, heinous satanic rituals. So it's like I have a right to, you know, live a normal life, but it's like they're blocking me from even simple food to eat, blocking me, you know, from air to the right to breathe air. It's like the more I speak out against this targeting, it's like the more my rights are stripped from me by people who do not have that authority. And it's like every day I'm constantly feeling like, what did I do or say wrong, so wrong that I deserve this forced life. I don't call it a lifestyle because I didn't choose this. None of us TIs did, you know. And it's like everybody's too into themselves and they handpick who they want to be supportive of, handpick who's targeting stories they want to believe, handpick who they want to help out, handpick who they want to listen to. So it's like they want me totally deprived of everything. And so it's like in one way I'm glad that I mean I hated to be fired and banned, but I'm glad I don't work there because I didn't like to be around blasting loud music for 8 hours or all day plus super cold. I mean, blasting loud, ungodly music plus it being very cold. Um, and then my feet hurting and stuff like that. So they said that disabled people, not all disabled, but some disabled people, especially with anxiety disorders, or I mean, my ears are hypersensitive, but disabled people and people with who are targeted, that they that they should work alone. I'm sitting here feeling like with the stimulus check, I'm feeling nervous and scared of what to do or how to spend it. I know I need to spend it on living expenses, but I don't have a final solution. I do not have a final solution of how to spend it, um, like how to spend the stimulus check. There's no opportunity for permanent housing, and tomorrow the weather is supposed to be so horrible, so bad. I mean, I don't know if I can get into a hotel room before. I think they said in the afternoon and the evening the horrible bad weather is supposed to come. So if the weather's supposed to come and be so bad, you know, I might have to spend another week in a hotel. And that's not what I wanted to do. And I'm still undecided on how to spend the money. But it's like, I know one thing. If the government say that you can spend it on whatever you want, you narcissistic perps do not have a right to judge or condemn how I spend it. Y'all don't. It's none of your business. None of y'all business. They want to judge and condemn me like they think they the ones who gave me the doggone money. They act like they think they gave me the money. They treat me like as if they gave me the money. And I'm thankful to not be around a narcissistic, control freak, fake friend or a family member because they act like they think they have the authority to confiscate my whole $1,400 and leave me with nothing. My own relatives scammed me out of my FEMA money for Hurricane Katrina. So, and it's like you'll get other narcissistic people will say you were stupid and you allowed it to happen and all that and stuff like that. But a person with compassion, they're not gonna judge and blame. They're not gonna blame the victim and kick you down. And it's like people act like as if so-called targets act like as if they put the gang stalkers on a pedestal and making like that they have a right to gang stalk us and that this is what they're supposed to do and that they that they have a right to make a living. Well, how can you be targeted and say they have a right to make a living, but then they're the same ones blocking us from making a living? It's like everybody ain't mentally God at all. But it's like the narcissistic perps are giving me increased amounts of thumbs down on purpose, hoping that I'll be disappear and be driven off of YouTube. That's what they're hoping. They think that they can have that much power over me. But there's only one God that has the mighty power, Almighty God. I mean, I'm glad I have the Lord Jesus Christ. Me trying to attempt to better myself. And then when I try, they want to set traps and snares to set me up to fall. And then so they can kick back and laugh and condemn me and judge me and psychologically and mentally kick me in the head. So let me get off here. They making these distractions to my video on purpose.